Good morning, folks. This is Sunday from Talk of Thailand again, and today is a very special day for us. We're heading up to Bangkok for just one night, but it's going to be a very significant night for me anyway, because we're going to do something I've wanted to do for a long time. Here we have our lovely chauffeur again, Mrs. Mackay, and on the way, and in the back here we've got the cheeky monkey, Sandra. So it's a family event. Let me tell you briefly the story now. When I was working out here in the 90s, they were building a hotel in Bangkok that they were determined to make it the tallest building in the world at that time, and it was to the significance of it was to honour the King's 50th year on the throne. I don't know which particular year in 1990 it was, but that was the reason they were building this hotel, and they were determined they were going to make it the largest building in the world, and the largest, I say largest, I mean tallest building in the world, and the tallest hotel in the world. But that went kind of wrong on them, because when they got it built, they found it fell a few feet short, and they wanted this to get into the Guinness Book of Records. So what they done was they stuck some communication mast on the top, which took it over the height that was required to get it marked as the tallest building in the world. But the Guinness Book of Records wouldn't accept it because the mast was not part of the construction, so it kind of failed. But it's still an impressive building, and I suppose it's kind of getting on a little bit now, because as I say, that was in the 90s, so it's possibly up to 30 years old now. I don't know exactly, but around that region. But I've always wanted to stay there. Other times I've been up to Bangkok, it sticks out like a sore thumb above everything else, and I used to pass it on the way to the airport every time. But tonight we're going to stay there, and we've actually got a very good room apparently. I saw it on the internet, and it was also lucky that it was part of the incentives to help Thais travel around and make up for the loss of tourism during this horrible pandemic. So this room normally sits around about 7,000 baht a night, which is close to 180, 190 pounds a night. And that's pretty good for a hotel of this calibre. So many people said it's maybe one of the tallest hotels in the world, and it's also one of the cheapest 5-star or 4-star, whatever, hotels in the world also, so for what it is. So tonight we're going to stay there. Now the reason this came about and we chose today is that Sandra, my daughter, we had to get her UK passport renewed, and we done that several weeks ago. We put the application etc. in, and the passport's now waiting collection in Bangkok. So we thought we'd combine this visit to pick up the passport with doing maybe some Christmas shopping, because we're getting pretty near Christmas now. It's beginning to feel a lot not like Christmas actually, with all this pandemic going on etc. So that's what we're doing. We're heading up there, and this afternoon we'll pick up Sandra's passport. My wife's going to go and have a look at some of the markets round about, and tonight we'll get something nice to eat, and then we've got the joy of staying in this hotel. Hopefully, if the weather's nice this afternoon, which it looks as though it's going to be, which it normally is, myself and my daughter Sandra, we'll probably do a little bit of swimming. So you can join us and see what that's all about there, and I'll certainly give you a guide around this hotel. And I think that's about it. As I say, we're on the way now. We should be up there. We're going to stop on the motorway and get something to eat, So tag along, and I hope you enjoy the experience also. So there's the Bayoukee Tower Hotel there, and you see the mast on top? Maybe you see the mast on top? If there wasn't a tree? Okay, you can see. You can just catch the top of it now, I think. That's the Bayoukee Tower. So here we are at the Bayoukee Sky Hotel in the centre of the Pratunam area of Bangkok, one of the largest market areas in Bangkok, right in the centre. This hotel stands just over 300 metres high and has 88 floors. The lower part of the hotel, the base, is a big shopping mall with a lot of different variations of stuff in there and well worth visiting. Our room is on the 54th floor, but to get to our room we had to get to the reception, which was on the 19th floor, so that was the first lift, and then we had to get a second lift to the 54th floor, but that lift went up to the 77th floor, and then if you wanted to go higher you had to change the lift again, and that was up the top restaurants and the viewing points, etc. If you want to go to the hotel and not stay there but just go up to the viewing point, that costs 700 baht a person, and they've got telescopes and all the rest of it up there. 700 baht, that equals roughly about 20 pounds, say, something around there. But the views are absolutely spectacular. You can see for miles and miles around. Unfortunately, during now, you might pick it out, there is a haze hanging around, and this is from further north of Bangkok, where they're burning the stubble from the rice, and the haze is drifting down from the burning back into Bangkok, and there's a lot of complaints about it, and the air quality isn't, because of that, is not so good. Well, so this is our bedroom in the Bayoukee Tower. So I'm going to put it back. I think I've got a wife in here somewhere.
I hide it, you can't see me.
I'm hiding you now. I'm hiding
Come on,
you.
then.
Oh,เย็นเหมือนที่น่าเกลียดเลยอะเย็น Daddy,
Ah,
that's very cold. เย็น
very
มาก
cold, good, good. And the highlight of the room is our little lounge out here.
They-
Look at this for a hotel lounge. A bedroom lounge.
Hey, you know, Daddy, you put your telephone here.
Look.
Oh,รถไฟ
The view from our room.
A train, Daddy.
Mm.
Whee!
Incredible view, an incredible view. Yeah. A little chair, a little table, a little chair, a little table where we can sit and eat here, and a big nice seat here. One of the city rail lines coming along here. Sandra,
Hmm?
get your swimming costume on.
Swimming clothes?
Yeah, we go down and have a swim when we've got time.
Okay. Where my clothes? Swimming clothes. Stay in your bag, yes?
Mum will sort it out. Mum will sort it out for you. So, an absolutely incredible room.
Swimming clothes.
A real panoramic view of Bangkok.
Okay, I put swimming clothes now.
You know, up here, way up here in the top of the world here, it's you're away from all the problems and the pandemics and the COVIDs that are existing down below just now, and it's sad that Thailand is a bit like this actually, really is. But okay, let's go and check out the swimming pool. You know, for a hotel this size, it's surprising how small the swimming pool is, and it's obviously trying to work it out. I think it's going to be shaded quite a lot of the day as well, so maybe it's not an important thing for people staying here. They're more interested in getting out into the centre and doing the shopping, etc. So, but it's okay. I didn't actually manage to get into it myself, but Sandra got into it and she liked it, but she likes any swimming activity at all, so that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. This was located on the 20th floor, along with the spa, the fitness centre and the massage area, so everything was provided for on the 20th floor. Back in the 90s, this was and it first opened, it had a 5-star classification, but now 30 years on, it's showing its age, and it's certainly not a 5-star hotel now. I would rate it probably around a 3-star because the service is still very good and they try hard. It's not easy in the pandemic, and they've got a lot of extra staff, and they're doing a very, very good job of guest control to try and maintain a safety aspect for the COVID problems that are around, and that's a major job in itself. I am very happy to have had the opportunity to come here on this visit to Bangkok, and I suppose it's really one to check off the bucket list now. I've done it, and I'm very happy on that. But I think I'm also happier that I've just paid the £60 odd that I've paid to stay here for this one night, as opposed to the 170 that they think it would be worth in the normal high season. I think they'd be struggling to get that, and I certainly wouldn't stay here more than one night, even at £60. I think there's much more luxurious roundabout to get at that sort of money, but not with the same panoramic views and not with the same the same class, is the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but anyway, I feel I've fulfilled one ambition, and I'm very happy I've done that. Let me look.
Yeah, I cannot do like that.
No. Okay, maybe when we come back, huh? Maybe when we come back, huh?
When mommy come here, yes?
So now we're moving up to the observation area at the top, where a lot of people can come up here to the public, and there's rooftop bars up here as well. It's very sparse at the moment. I think it's because it's I see a lot of stuff laid away because I think the hotel's gone through a very quiet period and it's easier to keep it all clean. In the evening we found a lot of people up here having a drink. We came here. When you check in here, you're given a token for each person to come up here and have a fruit juice cocktail free of charge. So we came up here, and my daughter had two and my wife had one, and I opted for a bottle of beer, which cost me, a small bottle of beer, which cost me the equivalent of £5 or $6, which I guess for a hotel like this is pretty good actually. In other places it'd be much more expensive. Actually, this piece of video was taken at the check-in after we'd gone through all the various paperwork, and the man took our case and was escorting us to the room. We thought he had the key to the room and he thought we had the key to the room, and as it turns out the room wasn't ready. So we had to go back into the reception area and wait to get the key, which wasn't too long. It was about another 10 minutes we had to wait outside. The official check-in is 2 o'clock and we arrived at about 11 o'clock. So there was no complaints and all sorted out very quickly. But the reception area is not so big, and as you can see it's not so luxurious either. It's pretty basic. I had a quick wander around and this is it. Sandra, look, I'm here. So now, after changing over to my Insta360 Go 2 camera, which is chest mounted and out of the face of people while I'm filming, we're heading out, and me and Sandra are going up to to get our passport, and my wife's off to start her 2-day shopping exped. So now we're heading up to Sukhumvit, Soi 13. Now there's a company up here called VFS Global that works from the Trendy building in Soi 13, Sukhumvit Soi 13, and they do passport renewals for the UK, and they also do visas for the UK for Thai people, etc. that want to visit the UK. So if you're getting your passport renewed, or you're trying to get someone a visa to come to the UK, this is the place you've got to come to. Also, they do business for Canada, Australia and New Zealand, so it's a very handy place to know. All this building on the right here is called the Trendy building, and a lot of it's accommodation actually, but when you get up to the top here, there's actually an office building called the Trendy building, and that's where we're heading for. On the way up here there's lots of little food shacks, etc., and there's a 7-Eleven if you want to stop get some cool drinks, etc. Also in the office building in Trendy, also there's a coffee shop and a donut, Dunkin' Donut shop, etc. So there's plenty here if you need to get some refreshments when you arrive. Coming here from Pattaya is an absolute doddle. You get the bus from Pattaya and it drops you on Sukhumvit at Ekamai bus station. You get out the bus and you get a taxi, and it costs you about 50 baht, and it's 10 minutes from the bus station up to the Trendy building here. And there you see it, there's the Trendy building. In there, that's where it's all done. I will do a video shortly on how to apply for a passport, etc. in Thailand. I did think today that we'd just be in and out as we were just collecting Sandra's passport, and it would be a straightforward matter of just giving them the paperwork and we'd get the passport. However, it was quite busy, surprisingly to me. There was a lot of Thai people in there, and they were obviously trying to do visas to go back to the UK. I've done that before, and it's another video I'll make in due course because it's easy to do. It's just getting the correct paperwork together, and then it's a piece of cake actually. So I'll do that sometime in the future. But now, having left there, we're heading back into town to find my wife again, who's in this huge area in Pratunam rather, and shopping for Christmas presents. Now this is a huge area, maybe the biggest market in Bangkok without a shadow of a doubt. There's shopping malls everywhere, and the majority of them are selling fashion and clothes and all the fashion accessories, etc. My wife reckons that she could spend a month here and not even see a quarter of it, so there you go. I know that when we found her today, she'd only been on the one floor of a mall and she wanted to carry on, so I left Sandra with her and I set off looking for a place called Pantit Plaza, which is very close. And before the pandemic, that was the place to go if you were interested in computer or high-tech equipment, and also telephones. And I visited there maybe about a year ago, and it was empty. It was totally empty. There was about 3 shops on the 3rd floor, and they said they were renovating it. So I hope this time it was all going to be back into full swing, and I was looking computer equipment or whatever. I'm interested in that sort of thing. But when I got there today, it's in exactly the same condition. It's absolutely empty. It used to be the ground floor used to be absolutely jam-packed with all the mobile telephone accessories and phones, etc. It's totally devoid of anybody. Only the 3rd floor again with a few shops up there. So I don't think that Pantit Plaza will ever come back to what it was, because all the computer equipment and all the telephones are now sold in most of the big shopping malls actually, so there's no need for that big mall anymore. Maybe eventually, because it's very close to this area that we're in now, and maybe that will get developed in the future to more fashion and clothing, etc. as well, or something similar, I think. This area is huge, and when I used to stay here in the 90s, when I worked out here, I used to stay in the Indra Regent Hotel, which is very close to here. You used to see people staying there from all over the world, and they spend all the days coming down here, buying fashions, having all parceled up, and you'd see them in the evening bringing all these huge bags of clothes back into their rooms, etc. And they were obviously keeping tally of it all. God knows how they got it all shipped back to their own countries, because they were from everywhere, from Europe, from India, it's strange because I expect a lot of the stuff's made in India and China, etc., and Thailand also, but it certainly seems to be one of the world's commerce centres for fashion and clothing, and I think it still is from what I've seen today also. Well, after a very long day and an early start this morning and driving and shopping, etc., we had a quiet evening. We went out and had something to eat in a bar cum restaurant, and then we had an early night and a good night's sleep, which was excellent. And then we came up here, floor 81, for the breakfast. Not really sure what to expect, because a lot of hotels handle it differently, but I was absolutely amazed. The range that they had on from breakfast from the various countries, etc. There was Thai food, there was American food, there was European food, there was Japanese food, there was Korean food, everything. And what a superb range, and a whole host of people preparing it and sending it out. Obviously the views, if you sit outside in the outside eating areas, the views were tremendous, but we decided to stay inside and eat. Personally, I've never eaten so much for breakfast for a long time. I started with a European breakfast, and then a bit of a Thai breakfast, and then I had Japanese vegetable curry with rice, and then I had various pastries. I had cereal, a couple of cups of coffee, and I was totally replete by the time we finished. And then disaster. My wife wanted to spend another few hours back at the clothes market looking round. So that's what happened before we started the trek back to Pattaya in the afternoon. But it was a lovely trip, and I really did enjoy it, I suppose, and the family enjoyed it, and they were all made up. Got the Christmas shopping done, a few extra clothes for Sandra, just a few bagfuls of clothes for Sandra, and so now we're all set up for Christmas anyway, and it's time to get home and get ready for that. So wherever you are in the world, if you're watching this, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas, if you're still applicable, and please stay safe from this horrible pandemic that is still going round. Here in Thailand, they're just starting to get concerned about the new Omicron variation, and they're busy investigating what they're going to do to restrict or control arrivals in Thailand. And I think it's going to turn into a major disaster here very shortly, as it is already in Europe and the UK and now in the US as well. It's not looking good. So that's it, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, then I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, if you've been here to this market before, it'd be interesting to know what you think of it now. It's certainly a lot more modernised than I remember it in the past. There's several huge malls of clothes and accessories, etc. to look around. Unbelievable, actually. So I think a lot of these dear lady shoppers that like to look at these fashion accessories and things, they could probably spend their whole holiday just in Pattanam market here in Thailand. That'd take up a 3-week holiday, according to my wife, anyway. So that's it. Take care, and I'll say goodbye for now.
What? What do you want? Oh, come on, let's get there. They were closing and we were still walking around here looking at that. I want to get knocked